Hey all, Amanda here again with another American Ninja Warrior Season 10 update, this time from LA. We have returning favorites and some new faces in this exciting episode where some obstacles have changed, but the goals remain the same, to hit a buzzer and advance to the city finals. In order to do that, challengers must first complete the following 6 obstacles. Returning as always are the floating steps. This is where contestants jump back and forth across the 6-foot gap between 5 floating steps to reach a rope that they then must grab to use and swing to the landing. Next is a new obstacle, the jumping cables. Contestants hold on to 2 hanging handles as they slide down the course, then must leap to a swinging pipe and then swing to the landing on the other side. Then it's on to the spinning bridge in a test of agility as contestants run across 4 moving balls to make it to the other side. Next, it's Skyhook. Contestants grab onto rings that they then must use to jump to hooks and repeat until they jump to the landing. Next, in another new obstacle, is the Doorknob Drop. Contestants use hand grooves to rock climb across a vertical plane until they reach the middle, where they then must start climbing up to the edge, where the plane then drops. They must then cross to a second bent plane, where they must repeat the feat, making it to the landing, where they then face off against the warped wall. Again, contestants can take either 3 shots at scaling the 14.5-foot inverted warped wall, or take their 1 shot at climbing the massive 18-foot warped wall for their chance at winning $10,000. The top 30 advancing to the city finals are Brian Rambo, who finished the course with a time of 2:26.54. Brian's a life insurance salesman and a rookie. Next is Nicholas Coolridge, who finished the course with a time of 3:07.73. Nicholas is an acrobat who tried to climb the mega warped wall but failed. He hit the normal buzzer to advance, but his run was cut. Next is Thomas Coffrin, who finished the course with a time of 3:10.56. Thomas is a firefighter. Next is Josh Levin, who finished the course with a time of 3:11.40. Josh is a professional rock climber. His run was cut. Next is Adam Rahl, who finished the course with a time of 3:12.46. Adam is a concrete worker and completed the mega warped wall, winning $10,000. Next is Spencer Clapp, who finished with a time of 3:47.86. Spencer is a shoe salesman who attempted the mega wall but failed to complete it. He hit the regular buzzer, but his run was cut. Next is Sean Bryan, who finished the course with a time of 3:56.84. Sean is a Catholic church worker and attempted the mega wall but failed to complete it. He hit the regular buzzer. Next is David Campbell, who finished the course with a time of 4:49.98. The Godfather is a 10-time American Ninja Warrior veteran who attempted the mega wall but failed to complete it. He hit the regular buzzer, but his run was cut. Next is Nick Hansen, who finished the course with a time of 5:07.97. The Eskimo Ninja is a ninja coach and completed the mega wall, winning $10,000. Next is Brian Crutch, who finished with a time of 6:07.67. Brian is a 10-time American Ninja Warrior veteran. His run was cut. Next is Kevin Bull, who is a gym manager and in a surprising loss had his hand slip from the last doorknob on Doorknob Drop and he fell with a time of 45.65. Next is Jesse Orishin, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:05.63. He was not mentioned by the show and his run was cut. Next is one of my personal favorites, Flip Rodriguez, who in a surprising upset slipped off the last doorknob and fell on Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:08.92. Flip is a stuntman. Next is Scott Wilson, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:14.77. His run was cut and he was not mentioned by the show. Next is Jeremy Rivette, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:16.57. His run was cut and he was not mentioned by the show. Next is Davon Hancox, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:16.88. His run was cut and he was not mentioned by the show. Next is Dara Miyamoto, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:22.44. Derek's a stay-at-home dad. His run was cut. Next is Anthony Trucks, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:28.34. Anthony's a former NFL linebacker. His run was cut. Next is Tiana Weberly, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:30.81. Sweet Tea is a waitress. Next is Tyler Schlorf, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:35.61. Tyler's run was cut, and he was not mentioned by the show. Next is Joe Mordorvich, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:35.94. His run was cut, and he was not mentioned by the show. Next is Brock Taylor, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:36.57. Brock is the Bam Bam brand director. His run was cut. Next is Grant McCartney, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:33.89. Grant's a flight attendant. Next is Austin Seberg, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:39 even. Austin's a gym manager. His run was cut. Next is Ruben Arello, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:40.92. Ruben's a real estate agent. Next is Gabe Hurtado, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:41.88. Gabe is a ninja coach. His run was cut. Next is Verdale Benson, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:43.27. Verdale is a physician assistant. His run was cut. Next is Eric Nelson, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:43.28. Eric's run was cut, and he was not mentioned by the show. Next is Wesley Silverstreet, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:47.28. Wesley's a real estate agent. His run was cut. And last is Brian Neal, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 1:52.82. His run was cut, and he was not mentioned by the show. The top 5 women to advance are Tiana Weberly, who is part of the top 30, Shanique Levitt, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 2:04.76. Shanique is a personal trainer. Selena Laniel, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 2:38.74. Selena's a firefighter. Anna Shoemaker, who fell on the Doorknob Drop with a time of 3:08.26. Anna's a personal trainer. And lastly, Samantha Bush, who fell on the Skyhooks with a time of 1:27.62. Samantha's an occupational therapist. So there you have it, the top 30 heading to the city finals. I'll be back again shortly with the results from the Miami competition, as we then move to Monday nights with the new night but the same home, NBC. So until then, enjoy the show.